Hey guys, it's Trisha. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you my April TBR. So my TBR this month is pretty chunky for things that I do need to get through the month. I have talked about in the past where I don't want to overload myself with books that I'm supposed to be reading to make room for mood reads, and that way I don't send myself into a reading slump. However, there are a lot of things that I do need to get through this month for my book club that I'm part of with the Muggle Studies book club, and as part of just catching up in general on other things. So I have a few more books to talk about this month than I did last month, so we'll get right on into it. So the first book that I'm going to finish up for the month of April is actually Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. I was supposed to finish this one last month, but towards the end of the month I did hit a reading slump, so I got about a third of the way through it, and it was a little bit slower of a start than the other books, so I decided to take it a little bit slower. Also, because of school issues with my little cousin, she had some school issues, so we weren't able to do our little and big book chat last month, so I decided to push it off to this month. Ruin and Rising is the third book in the Grisha trilogy, so it picks up not too long after the second book. I'm not going to talk too much about that because it's going to spoil for book one for those of you who have not read it. However, I have very, very much enjoyed book one and book two in this series. If you have read them and you are interested in my spoilery thoughts, I will link my book chat with my little cousin up in the card. Next up on my list is actually Scythe by Neal Shusterman. This is one that I have a digital copy of, so I'll pop a picture up right here for you guys. Scythe is the Muggle Studies book club pick of the month for April. It is about a world that I've heard. I haven't read the synopsis on this. I'm going based off of what I've heard. It's about a world where people don't die because of natural causes, so they only die because of accidents or things like that. And because people don't die, in order to keep the population under control, there are individuals who are trained to be scythes. I think that's what the terminology is that they use, to go and take the lives of individuals when it is their time to go, so that way the population doesn't boom like crazy and the world become overpopulated. So it's the first in a series. Thunderhead was the second book in the series to come out. That came out recently. So this is one that I was kind of on the fence about because I don't really care for dystopian novels anymore. So we will see how this one goes. Next up, I have two books also for the Muggle Studies book club. It is for the Vampire Academy reread along. We are doing Shadow Kiss and Blood Promise. They are books 3 and 4 in the Vampire Academy series. We read books 1 and 2, Vampire Academy and Frostbite, back in March. So we are reading these two to do a discussion on them after the discussion for Scythe. This is one where I think I only read Shadow Kiss, and I didn't get any farther than that in the series because I was tired of waiting for them to be released because I was reading them as they were releasing when I was a teenager. I really enjoyed it from what I remember, and so far reading book 1 and 2, I have had a lot of fun rereading them, so I'm excited to get into these. I will probably be switching off between physical copy and audio on these. And the next two that I am reading for the month of April are actually also for the Muggle Studies book club, and it's a little bit of a catch-up game for me. So I have not read any Sarah J. Maas books. None of them. So for the Muggle Studies book club, when A Court of Frost and Starlight releases in May, it releases at the beginning of May, that book is actually going to be the book that we read for May. So here was my dilemma. I have not read a single book in the ACOTAR series, and so I have April to read them. So my plan was to read A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. I will be reading both of these in the month of April in order to catch up. I'll be reading A Court of Rings and Ruin and A Court of Frost and Starlight next month, so I had to catch up. So these two are the ones that I'm going to be reading this month, and I'll be reading the next two next month. I honestly don't know what they're about. I have no idea. All I know is that Hannah and Gabby both tell me that I will like it. I feel like It has a feeling of a book that I will like. I don't know how I managed to be involved in the book community this long and have not only no spoilers, but no idea what these books are about. I haven't read the dust jacket on them. I just know that I'm going to read them. So I'm going in 100% blind. And we'll see how it goes. All right, so these are all of the books that I am planning on reading for the month of April. Let me know in the comments down below, have you read any of these? You most likely have at least the Sarah J. Maas books or Leigh Bardugo because they are so popular here on BookTube. So I'm hoping that with this TBR, it's a lot of books, including Scythe, which is the digital copy, that I will be able to squeeze in mood reads of something other than YA, because this is like my YA reading month. We'll see how it goes. Also, now is a perfect time, if you have not already done so, click that little subscribe button down below if you want to see more content from me in the future. And if you want to follow me elsewhere on the interwebs, I have all of my social media links in the description box down below. And I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!